Welcome to week 2 of NFL Picks. We will be here through the entire season, but first let's take a look at the standings. I struggled against the spread, but thankfully you did too. I was 8-6 straight up, 4-9-1 against the spread. You were 11-3, 3-9-1, both 1-1 on the locks. Right now I'm 12-15-1. You are 14-12-1. You lead me by 2 points after 1 week. For anyone tuning in for the first time, first off, thank you. Make sure you subscribe to the channel, like the video, tell your friends about it. We're still growing. We'll be here the entire season, bluffing our way through the NFL season. The winner of this contest at the end of the season will owe the other a beautiful, glorious, delicious, expensive steak dinner. We will post pictures of that on the YouTube community tab when it arrives. Ryan, without further ado, let's jump into week 2 of the NFL, picking straight up and against the spread. Let's start with the New Orleans Saints. Heading to Dallas to take on the Cowboys. Both teams put on a really impressive performance last week, I think. Cowboys are favored at home, a heavy favorite, favored by 6.5 points as of today. I do think the Cowboys win the football game. They are a good team. Mike McCarthy's a good coach. Dak got signed. It might not be a lame duck year after all. I think the Cowboys win straight up, but I'm going to take the Saints plus the 6.5. I think it's a little bit closer than the 6.5 spread.
Yeah, I'm right there with you. I think the Cowboys will win this game. However, the Saints are going to be in it throughout the entire game. I mean, let's be honest. Derek Carr was done after about 2 minutes last week. He didn't have to throw the ball. He didn't have to air it out. But when he did, it worked really well. Chris Olave owners, if you play fantasy, don't be alarmed. He didn't have to use Olave last week because they stomped a hole in, well, I'm not even going to say the team they played because it's too embarrassing. Now, what I will say is the Cowboys are going to have to step up their game a little bit this week. That's why I have the Saints covering the spread. I still think the Cowboys just, they barely eke them out, but being a home game, I think it's going to go the Cowboys' way.
The Tampa Bay Buccaneers are going to Detroit to take on the Lions, a rematch of that wonderful playoff game. The Lions came away with an overtime thriller against the Rams. The Bucs, on the other hand, really put it to Washington and the Commanders. Yeah. Lions are favored at home by 7 points. I think they win the football game. They are the better team, but Tampa looked really good, better than I expected. I'm going to take the Bucs plus 7. So Lions to win, Bucs plus 7.
This is a really big spread to me, just judging how good the Bucs looked last week. Moving Godwin, I said it before, preseason into the slot, back into the slot like he was in 2022, has really changed their offensive scheme now. They're back to how they were playing, and I think it works better for everybody. I'd like to see them utilize White a little bit more in the run game, but he's definitely the pass-catching back for sure. I think Tampa Bay's a really good team, and it's a team to watch out for, but I do think the Lions, like you said, is a better team after what we saw them do on Sunday night in overtime. It was a show to watch. Give me the Lions to win, Tampa Bay to cover.
The Cleveland Browns head to Jacksonville to take on the Jaguars. Both teams 0-1. I know you're chomping at the bit to get to this one. First off, I know my belief in the Jaguars has been crushed. They are a roller coaster team. They always stab the knife in me. However, the Browns are terrible. Deshaun Watson is their quarterback. The Browns sent Baker Mayfield packing so they could spend $250 million on a bottom 5 quarterback in the league. It's embarrassing. The Jaguars win this game. They cover.
I disagree with you. I am not going to pick the Jags hardly ever unless they were playing maybe the Giants. This week, I'm going to say the Browns course correct a little bit. They're still going to be a terrible team. Deshaun Watson is still going to be a terrible quarterback. Nothing changes there. However, the Jags are such a roller coaster team. I think that Deshaun Watson's going to take out some massage oil and oil up that track of the roller coaster, and they're going to win this game. Give me the Browns plus 3.5.
All right, you got the Browns to win, so you'll take the points. Interesting. I think you're crazy. Moving on to 2 teams that looked really, really good last week. The San Francisco 49ers at the Minnesota Vikings. Sam Darnold was dealing against the Giants. Brock Purdy looked great, even though the statistics didn't jump off the sheet. McCaffrey might be out. We'll see. 49ers favored by 6.5 points on the road. That's a big spread for a road team, but I just don't believe the Sam Darnold hype. He's going to come back down to earth. It might not be this week. The 49ers look like arguably the best team in the league behind Kansas City. I think the 49ers win this game, and I think they cover.
I hate to copy you, but that's what I'm going to pick as well. Listen, Vikings fans, you know how life is when you're a Vikings fan. You get a little taste of something good, and then it's immediately swept out from under you, and it goes away. This is the week that Sam Darnold goes away. He hasn't played a defense such as the San Francisco 49ers. If you tuned in Monday night and saw the 49ers play, you felt like that you saw possibly the Super Bowl champions playing. They were that good without Christian McCaffrey, their biggest weapon. What this tells me is that Kyle Shanahan knows how to coach an offense. Brock Purdy has played a terrific season so far, one game in, and I think that they have what it takes to completely blot out the Vikings this week, even though the Vikings are at home.
All right, we both got the 49ers to win and to cover. Jim Harbaugh and the Chargers head to Carolina to take on poor, pitiful Bryce Young, the team which you didn't even want to speak its name. Chargers favored by 6.5 points on the road. Ryan, this could be 10.5, and I would still take it. The Chargers win. They stomp the Panthers. They win, and they easily cover.
Yeah, I'm right there with you, man. There's really not much commentary I want to put on this because the Panthers are just that bad. Bryce Young is not an NFL quarterback, if anybody doesn't know that already. This team, if it course corrects, it may just wind up. I don't even think they could course correct at this point. If they course correct, they're just going to do a U-turn and go back home.
Yeah, I agree with you. So not a lot of analysis required there. The Raiders going to Baltimore to take on the Ravens. The Ravens are favored by 9.5 against the Raiders. Look, we knew the Raiders were going to be bad. They were even a little worse than I was expecting. Some people had false hope for them. I don't know why. I think the Ravens, after losing to the Chiefs, they obviously want to get the show on the road. They're going to go and play with their meat in this game, and not in a dirty way, in a fighter way, a gladiator way. So anyway, the Ravens are going to win the game. They're going to cover the 9.5 spread easily. I have no faith in the Vegas Raiders.
Yeah, I just love seeing you dig yourself out of that hole. I'd love to see that happen again.
Tried the best I could.
I agree with you. The Ravens are the much better team, and I think they will win. However, 9.5 point spreads freak me out.
Whoa!
So give me the Raiders to cover.
Wow.
But I still think the Ravens, I mean, they're still going to win by a touchdown. Obviously, a touchdown's only worth 7 points last time I checked.
Yeah,
plus
you're
6
right.
technically with the field goal. So let me take the Ravens here to win. The Raiders may surprise us and run it a little bit closer than they should, but ultimately, the Raiders have no chance this year.
Yeah.
And by the way, just quick timeout for Antonio Pierce not giving his team a chance to run the football and get the first down on the 4th and 1 is beyond belief.
Yeah.
It is an ignorant call. I do not understand it. Like, can you make sense of that?
No, I can't make sense of it. But to be honest, I don't mean to be rude or disparaging. When you are going into the AFC West against Herbert and Mahomes, and you have Gardner Minshew and Aiden O'Connell as your quarterbacks, what hope do you really? I mean, you don't stand a chance. Minshew looked good last year because he was with Shane Steichen. That's the only reason.
4th and 1 in your own territory is all I'm saying.
Because maybe he's not a good coach. You know, it's possible. Sometimes these interim hires don't work out. We'll see. I am rooting for him because I like him, but it's not looking good right now. The Seahawks go to New England to take on the Patriots. I think a lot of people would be shocked to say both teams are 1-0 this week. A lot of belief in the Seahawks last week. The Patriots with the biggest upset. They really kind of dominated the Bengals. The Bengals were never in that football game. The Seahawks are favored by 3.5 points on the road against New England. I think the Patriots are going to be feeling themselves so much, and they're going to come back down to earth a little bit here. The Seahawks win the football game, and they cover the spread. That defense is going to get after Jacoby Brissett. The Bengals were hapless. They were all over the place. I think Mike McDonald will have the Seahawks ready to play. They win. They cover.
Here comes an upset alert. I have the Pats winning this game. Obviously, I'm going to take the plus 3.5 with them. Listen, I think the Pats are going to be riding this high. I think that Mayo is going to be up on his high horse, and I don't think he's going to come down against Geno Smith. This is the first home game since 1999 without Coach Bill Belichick as the head coach. That's a long time. Mayo has to make a stand right here. I think a lot of this is emotion-based in this game. I don't think it's going to boil down to talent. I think the Pats, obviously not playing at home last week, this crowd is going to be wild because they beat the Bengals, and not only beat them, demolished them. I don't think that Geno Smith has what it takes this game to beat the Pats. Now, later on in the season, anybody could beat the Pats on any given Sunday, but this time, give me the Pats.
Interesting. I wouldn't be shocked if that happens. I just feel like it has to level out, and I think the Seahawks might be a better coached football team and obviously a better roster. But hey, you would say that about the Bengals, and the Patriots found a way to win. Moving on to one of my favorite coaches in the league, one of the teams I'm high on. I have them making the playoffs. That's the Indianapolis Colts. By the way, The Anthony Richardson 65-yard touchdown pass to Alec Pierce.
Masterpiece.
Oh my God. Like, I don't know what's going to happen. There's not many people on the planet that can make that throw.
I don't know if I've ever made that throw in like Madden.
No, exactly. It's hard enough just pressing square. He did it in real life. The Colts are favored by 3.5 against the Packers because Jordan Love is out. Malik Willis is in. Malik Willis is terrible. The man couldn't even get off a Hail Mary. Green Bay has no one to blame but themselves for putting themselves in this position going into the season with him as the backup. I know Matt LaFleur is a good coach, but so is Shane Steichen. Shane Steichen's a wizard. I think the Colts win this game. I kind of think they embarrass the Packers, and they're going to be begging for Love to come back. The Colts win, and they cover.
Couldn't agree more. I'm exactly in the same boat with you. I do want to ask you, though, would you rather have Malik Willis or Bryce Young?
Bryce Young.
That's a tough one, isn't it?
Yeah, I don't like either of it.
It makes you feel dirty. Like, I got to go take a shower after we record tonight.
I was about to say, yeah, definitely. Yeah. Okay, the Jets. Hey, looks like I was right. They're the same old Jets. They go to Tennessee to take on the Titans. The Jets are favored by 3.5 points. I do think they right the ship. Okay, they win the football game, but it's closer than experts think. Give me the Titans plus 3.5. Jets win. Titans cover.
Give me the Jets to win the football game. I do not think they're as bad as you're making them out to be. I do think that they probably will take a step back defensively. I need to see Aaron Rodgers utilize the entire field instead of just the left side. And I think that this Titans team with Will Levis at quarterback is not going to be that great against this New York Jets defense. I think this is the game they right the wrongs that they committed last week. Give me the Jets and the Jets to cover.
All right, so we got a difference there on the spread. The Giants go to the Commanders. Jaden Daniels, rough rookie start. The Giants, a rough, past decade.
Everything.
Yeah. Commanders are actually favored by 1.5 points here. And here, my friend, is my upset alert. I know it's not a flashy one. I think the Giants win this game outright, so I'm going to take them with the 1.5 points.
All right, I like it because they burned me last week, okay? So no way I'm picking the Giants to win. Give me the Commanders. At least the Commanders found the end zone last week, and that's something. Their quarterback is better at running the ball and at least doesn't fumble the ball as much as Daniel Jones does. So I think the Commanders, especially at home this week, covers easily. Give me them minus 1.5.
All right, you got the Commanders to win and to cover. I've got the Giants to win and obviously to cover. I just think Jaden Daniels didn't throw the ball at all downfield. It was all checkdowns and it was looking to run. He was flustered. The reason I go Giants here is just simply because of the rookie quarterback. That's it. No other reason. So we'll see. All right, I'm shocked by the spread on this one, but maybe it's because of the injuries. The Rams go to Arizona to take on the Cardinals. I was higher on the Cardinals than a lot of people. They looked really good last week. Kyler Murray is back in full force. Cardinals are favored by 1.5 points. This could have been my upset alert, but picking the Rams didn't feel like a real upset alert. That's why I went Giants. I think the Rams win the football game, so I'll gladly take the 1.5 points, but I wouldn't be shocked if the Cardinals win. I just find it hard to believe McVay and Stafford are going to start 0-2, even with all the injuries. Give me the Rams to win, Rams to cover.
Yeah, same here. Rams to win, Rams to cover. I think the Cards are a lot better than most people anticipated them to be. However, it looks like that the defense of the Rams is taking a little bit of a hit, not having Aaron Donald. But I think that they can work through that, especially against this Cardinal offense. It's good, but it's not great.
Yeah, Buffalo might disagree. All right.
They also blew a game they were ahead by like 2 touchdowns and a field goal. So
you got a point. All right. Bengals going to Kansas City to take on the Chiefs. Can they right the ship after getting absolutely embarrassed by the Patriots? We know the Bengals get off to a slow start. They really can't afford to. I think the Chiefs win this football game. I just don't think the Bengals have the talent. I don't know if Joe Burrow is... I know he says he's healthy. I don't know. They don't look right. However, it's still Joe Burrow. They always play him close. I think the Bengals keep it within a field goal. It comes down to the wire. Kansas City wins the football game, but give me Bengals plus 5.5.
I'm right there with you, man. I know. We picked these completely separate from each other, and we tend to agree on a lot of football come week 2. Week 1 is always skewed. I think Kansas City is obviously the much better football team at this point in the season, but the Bengals always do play them close, especially in the second half. We've seen it live and in person. So give me the Kansas City Chiefs to win the game, the Bengals to cover.
All right, moving on to the Pittsburgh Steelers, heading to Denver to take on Bo Nix and the Broncos. Bo Nix looked pretty good. I knew he threw 2 picks, but as far as a rookie, you called it. You said he would have a rookie performance. He would struggle. He did, but he had flashes. I think Sean Payton's going to get them rolling in the right direction. Opposite side, the Steelers came away with a win over the Falcons with Justin Fields as the starter. Will he continue to be, or will Russell Wilson get his chance at revenge? I don't know. I think this is a really tough one to pick. Ultimately, I'm just going with roster. I'm going with defense. I think Bo Nix is going to struggle against that Pittsburgh defense. It's going to be a long, long day for him. Give me the Steelers to win, but God, I was going to take the Broncos +3, but I'm starting to doubt it now. Give me the Steelers to win. Okay, give me the Steelers to win and the Broncos +3. I'm sorry, I was on the fence.
Thank you, because I got the Steelers to win and the Steelers to cover. I think this defense is going to show up and show out. I don't think Bo Nix is going to be able to capitalize on it. And also, the running back room in Denver is so up in the air. We don't know if it's going to be Williams. We don't know if it's going to be McLaughlin. We don't know who it's going to be running the football. It could be a 50-50, a 60-40, like you said last week, a 60-50. Who knows? But what I do know is that Bo Nix is still a rookie quarterback, and I don't like the weapons that he has around him as much. And I have more faith in Justin Fields. He's done it longer. So I don't think this is going to be a super high-scoring game, at least on one side of the ball, being Denver.
All right. So we got a difference there, maybe against my better judgment. The Chicago Bears go to Houston to take on the Texans. Caleb Williams struggled mightily. C.J. Stroud looked really, really good. The Texans were in a dogfight with the Colts, a division rival, but it was a great game. Houston looks better than last year. C.J. Stroud, hey, didn't look like a one-hit wonder, did he? He was fantastic last week. He's just a great ball player. Give me the Texans to win this football game and to cover. I know people were high on the Bears, riding that Bears train. It's going to be a long, rocky road. I think if the Bears could end the season 500 and see Williams improve, they would be happy. They would take that. This is going to be a rough week, though. Texans win, Texans cover.
Yeah, I'm with you. Texans win and they cover. More so than C.J. Stroud, Nico Collins is one of the best wide receivers in the NFL right now.
I love him.
Some of the contested catches that he made last week in between defenders, it's just insane. He is the guy. He is the show in Houston, along with C.J. Stroud, obviously, and Joe Mixon. I think he's coming on strong as well.
He had a great game.
Hey, if you ever wonder what a good offensive line will do for you, that's what it will do. So bye-bye Bengals, hello to the Texans. Give me the Texans to win and cover.
All right, last game. I believe this is the Monday night game. I might be wrong. I think it is Monday night game. All right, the Atlanta Falcons going to Philadelphia to take on the Eagles. The Eagles with a home opener after Brazil, and the Falcons with a big disappointment. Looks like I might have been a little right about the Falcons. I don't know. We'll see. Kirk Cousins looked kind of washed. Looked like the injury was hurting him. I just think the Falcons don't have the talent. I don't know about the coach. I don't know about Kirk Cousins. A lot of things are up in the air. Otherwise, the Eagles looked really good. Yeah, Jalen Hurts got messy. They were sloppy some places. It was week 1. It was in Brazil. Yeah. It looks like Kellen Moore's doing great for the Eagles. They're doing good. I think the Eagles win the football game, and I think they cover.
So give me the Eagles to win the football game. I'm going to take the Falcons to cover here. I think that Kirk Cousins, you got to give him a break. He's coming back off of a huge injury for a quarterback at his age. It's week 1. I'm willing to give him a mulligan here. He has to prove me right in week 2. That's why I have them to cover. It looks like that Jalen Hurts is missing Kelsey with some of the mishaps that they had. So that's something that they're going to have to work on through the season. They may not fix that until like week 6 or 7, I believe. So while I'm confident that the Eagles win, I'm not confident they can win by more than a touchdown.
Yeah, it's hard to replace a Hall of Fame center. All right, so those are our picks. Before we sign off, 2 locks. I'll go ahead and give you my 2. I was going to take one of yours, but I'm changing it just so we can have different ones. I'm taking the Eagles -6.5 against the Falcons, and I'm also going to take the Chargers -6.5 against the Panthers. Those are my 2 locks. If I had to bet the house on it, those are the 2 I feel most comfortable about.
Yep, my 2 locks is going to be Tampa Bay against the Lions, covering Tampa Bay +7. I love the Lions. I even put them as my lock last week. But I think Tampa Bay's a good enough team. They finished within a touchdown. My second lock of the day is going to be the Houston Texans against the Chicago Bears, -6.5. I think the Texans put on a clinic up against the Bears this week.
Yeah, I don't necessarily think you're wrong. There you go. There you have it. Week 2 picks in the books. Make sure you check back next week to see where we stand, where our points shake out, and to see our week 3 picks. We are here with you every week, bluffing our way through the NFL football season. Like the video, subscribe to the channel, tell your friends about it. He's Ryan. I'm Tristan. See you guys next week. Goodbye.